Hey everybody, Jeff Helbin here with Ballin Brands, and today I'm going to show you how to build out showcase pages on your BREW website. Now the showcase pages are what show up under the locations navigation. When I click on locations, you'll see I have a couple locations here, Broward County and Miami-Dade County. And what we're going to do ultimately is add a third one here so we can see how those show up. Now, one thing before we build showcase pages is we want to understand the structure of how we want these organized. And what I mean by that is when I click on Broward County, well, then I'm going to have cities. And when I click on cities, then I can have price points. So really this can become a very sophisticated and absolutely very valuable resource for your website visitors. And what's even more is that it's actually a great resource for SEO, so for the search engines to provide to their searchers. So this is one of the best activities you can do on your BREW website is build out these showcase pages that show up under locations. So I'm going to walk you through those steps here, start to finish. All right, so again, once we have that understanding, we want a certain hierarchy, okay? We want counties, then we want cities that show up under counties, then maybe neighborhoods that show up under the cities, and or price points and our features. We can actually do, let's say, homes with a pool in a certain city, right? We can actually break it down into things like that. Whatever your MLS can manipulate and break down, we can actually create pages for that on your BREW. And again, we call those showcases. So our first thought might actually be to jump in right away. Let's say I go into the admin, I log into my website admin, the WordPress admin here, and I go to showcases and I want to click on add new. But before we actually add the showcase, we need to actually have the property widget that displays on that showcase page. So again, going back to it, if I go to the website and I click on locations and I click on Broward County, well, I want to actually have properties available to view in Broward County. Okay, so we need to create that widget if we have not already. In this case, of course, I've already created it, but I'm going to show you and walk you through how we create those widgets to start. So the first thing we actually do is actually build the widgets in IDX Broker. So when I go into IDX Broker, log into that admin, I'm going to go down here to Design, Widgets, Legacy. And they're called Legacy because they're the original widgets. They've got some new ones that they're rolling out, but those aren't the showcase widgets that we want to build. So we're going to click on Legacy. And you'll see I have a number of widgets already built here. Obviously, I've gone through these steps and I've done it. And you'll see what we've done is we have Broward County under 100K, Broward County under 200K, Broward County under 300K. So I've actually built all of the pricing widgets already for something like Broward County. I've also built the city widgets, Fort Lauderdale and Miramar, for example, under that. But I'm going to show you how we create those widgets. But you'll notice, again, we create the widgets first, then we go apply them on the website. So I'm going to go ahead and click up here to create new. We're going to select a type of widget. Now remember, we call these showcases. These are our showcase pages, and we did that because we wanted to kind of line up with the type of widget that we recommend you build for these. And the showcase widget specifically is the one that does the separate little tiles on the page, and we've found that that gets the best response and good SEO for us. The way the page loads, the way the visitors interact. So that's what we choose and what we recommend. So we click on Showcase, Properties to Feature. Now we have all these different options. Featured properties would be just your specific properties only. We have supplemental properties, which are ones that I can add manually. Then we have the featured and supplemental that combines those. Featured agents, sold and pending. Now in this case, we actually just want to show general available inventory in that market. So we're just going to do a custom search. And that's what we do most of the time is that custom search option. And then which kind of search do we want to do? An address search, a basic search, an email updates. Really what we want is an advanced search. We want all the different fields available to us to be able to narrow that down even further. So I'm going to go ahead and click on advanced search. So again, showcase, custom search, advanced search. All right, so next we're going to go here to what type of properties. Now in this case, I want to do just general properties that are active on the market, right, in a specific area. So let's say property type is single family, right? I can choose these different ones. Maybe you're a condo driven community, so you can do those as well. But in this case, I'll keep single family. Then we have property subtype. So in this case, we only have single family. This might be different if I had, let's say, condos and townhomes, vacant land. Sometimes there's different subtypes that you can choose as well. But in this case, we're just going to stick here with single family and not specify a subtype. Status, we always recommend you do active. You could do pending, you can do different options, but what we're trying to do is give the website visitors options of what's available for them to work with. So in most cases, we're going to do active. And then we get into city, county, and postal code. So as you saw in there, we did, like, I could start to type in Broward, and I could pull up Broward County. If I start to type in Miami, I could do the county Miami-Dade, or I can actually just choose the city Miami. So it's whatever one we want to build. In this case, I'm going to do a sample of Miami because I've already built the other widgets that we need, but we'll do a sample of Miami here. Now I can also specify a price range. So I can do a minimum and maximum of which properties to show. I can do number of bedrooms, bathrooms. So when you look at this, as you can imagine, you could do 2-bedroom homes in Miami, 3-bedroom homes in Miami, 4-bedroom homes in Miami. You can do that based on this search criteria here. You could also do price reductions. You can do max days listed. So these obviously help if we want to see homes just reduced in this market. So we can build very specific widgets here, which is awesome for marketing, of course. And then we also have your additional options. So in this particular MLS, we have things like the financial, what type of financial it is, details of the exterior. So we could do homes with a deck or homes with a balcony. We could do a showcase widget for Miami homes, fixer-uppers, things like that. So these are all different options. I'm going to go ahead and leave that blank for now because I don't need any additional options. And then we have finally our widget options. So do we want it to be responsive? That means, is it mobile responsive? Will it collapse into a single column instead of 3 columns when it's on mobile? So we certainly want that. So we'll leave that to yes. We'll give it a name. So we'll say Miami Homes between 200K and 800K, if that's all we really specified. Sorting order, we like to show the newest listings first, so that way each time someone's coming back to the page, they see the most recent ones. You can also organize in different options, but newest listings is what we typically use. You'll see is preset because it's responsive, so it's always going to be that option. Number of rows we leave alone because we let that specify how many rows we need, but number of columns we do recommend 3. That's what we see as kind of the most common 3 tiles side by side. And then we have number of listings. Now, what this lets us do is, obviously if I just do general homes in Miami, there's probably hundreds of results. Okay, so we don't necessarily want hundreds of results to show on one page. We usually recommend you limit it to about 15. We want to show them a sample of them, then give them the option to click through to see the rest. So that's where here, do we want the widget to open a new window? We usually leave that to no because they're still on the website, so we don't need it to open new pages. And then we have a display view all results link. And yes, we do want that because we're going to limit only 15 to show, and we want them to be able to see all 100, 200, 300 there are if they click the button to go see those. But just on the page itself, we want to limit it to 15. So now I go ahead and click Build Widget. Now what it does, it gives us this little JavaScript code. We could copy that, go to the website, paste it, use it that way. And in our particular case, we recommend a different route because we have the IDX Broker Impress plugin installed and activated. We do recommend we use that instead. So I'm going to show you that next step. But the point here is to make sure we create that widget. So if you know you're going to build 3 different communities, 5 different cities, and 6 different price points for each city, go ahead and build them. Build them all in here while you're in here. You don't have to do them one at a time. Come here, go to the website, make the page. Come here, build it, go to the website, make the page. You don't have to do it that way at all. It'd be a little more efficient if you go ahead and build out these widgets that you want in there. Okay, so once I have the widget built, I can go back here. We'd actually see that they're all in here. Now I'm ready to go back to my website. Okay, so in this case, I'm back to the website. I'm going to go log into the admin, get to my dashboard here, the WordPress admin. And in this particular case, I'm going to go ahead and go to Showcases. Now I want to build the showcase. Okay, so click on Showcases. I'll see what I have already. Broward County, Fort Lauderdale, Miramar. Now you'll actually see here this little hyphen. But what that's showing is that it's a subcategory of Broward County because these are cities. So those are cities in Broward County. And then we have another Miami-Dade County, which you'll see doesn't have the hyphen because it's considered on the same level. Those are considered parents, okay? So that's not necessarily relevant for what we're about to do. Just want to kind of help you understand what we can see here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Add New. Now in this case, I'm actually adding the Palm Springs, I believe it is, Palm Beach. I'll have to look which one it is. But I am going to do the we'll call it Palm Springs County. And again, I might need to change that to Palm Beach. Now, before I actually add, I do want to do this in Elementor because that gives us more page layout abilities and design things. But what I want to add here is on the right-hand side, I have the option to choose certain things. So for example, I just gave it a title, Palm Springs County, and I'm going to publish it immediately when I'm done. We'll be fine. There's this template option, but we always leave that to default. We've got Yoast built in. Now, readability and everything else is always going to look poor on these particular ones because we don't have content. We're really just putting a showcase page. We're not adding content in this case. Then we have permalink. So this actually shows what the URL will look like. So it'd be, your.com/location/Palm Springs County, for example. Okay, so we've got that. Then we have categories. What type of showcase is this? Is it number of bedrooms? Is it a city? Is it a county, neighborhood? Well, we've just determined it's a county. We're building a county page. So now I have county. And then I'm going to go here to the showcase image. So what this does is this is that featured image that's going to show up on the page when you're clicking through. So I'm going to go ahead and click on set showcase image. Let's choose one here. Obviously, you'd want it to be one that's, looks relevant to that particular area. Then we have excerpts, which would be an SEO additional thing. We'll talk about that in different steps. Then we have the showcase attributes. Now, what this is does this belong under another page? So when we do cities, it usually does. So when I built Miramar, I put Broward County as the parent showcase. But in this case, we don't want it to have a parent because it's a county just like the other two are. So it's going to be at that top level, basically, where we want it to show up. Okay. Now, I also have some other options here, showcase options. Do I want to feature the showcase? Well, that means do I want it to show up on the home page? If I go back to the home page, let's pull that up here. If I go back to the home page, these are considered the featured locations. They're showing up here on the home page simply because I checked this box on this page that I'm building right now. Okay, so that's what that does. And then category box link text. So remember in the beginning I told you that we build automatically these links for you. So when I go to a location, it has Fort Lauderdale and Miramar. So let's say the page is called Fort Lauderdale Homes for Sale, but I only want it to say Fort Lauderdale in the link box because I don't want it to say homes for sale, homes for sale, homes for sale. I don't want to overdo that. So I could have this be called Fort Lauderdale Homes for Sale, but then I can change this link box name to be something more specific. So that's what that option does for us. Okay, so just a few details there. Then I have my Yoast details that I can get into again in another step. Okay, so now all we need to do is just build the actual page in Elementor. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Edit with Elementor. And just watch how easy this is. Elementor will load up here for us. And you'll see here, you already see your template. It's all fine. We got this Palm Springs County. It says drag a widget here. Okay, so here's all the different widgets. This is a different video to talk about all the different widgets and what we can do with them. But in this case, I'm just going to type in IDX because that's what I want to pull up. And because we have the Impress IDX Broker plugin installed, we have this little Impress IDX dashboard widget. So I'm just going to drag that right over. And now it actually lets me choose IDX widgets or widgets you have created in your middle or dashboard. So I can actually choose from here what I've already selected, whatever widgets I already built. So you see all these in here that we saw in IDX Broker, Broward County, under 100, under 200, all of those. So in this case, I'm doing the Palm Springs, and again, it is Palm Beach, so I did have that wrong, so we're gonna update that. But I'm gonna click here on Palm Beach County, and you'll see it populate. It's exactly what it's gonna look like on the page. So this shows the properties on what's available. So I'll go ahead and click Apply, and I'll hit Publish. All right, so your post is live, have a look. So now I can click on that and actually go to the page, and you'll see it says Palm Springs County, which again, we just decided we're gonna go edit that. We see our 15 properties that are available, and we see our view all results. Now what's even cooler is now when I go over to my locations page, you'll actually see we have our other one. Now what happened here is I didn't save the page before I did the edit with Elementor. So I'm going to actually go back here to my showcase page. Show you how this works here. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and go back to my showcase page. So I'll see Palm Springs County. I'm going to click Edit. I'm going to make those couple little tweaks that I had done over here. I just didn't save it before I moved. So I'm going to we're going to change this now to Palm Beach County. Okay. We don't need to do the edit with Elementor because we've already put that showcase page in there. I'm just changing these details over here. Permalink, we want to change that. It wasn't Springs, it was Palm Beach, so we want to change that. Which category it is, it's a county. And then the showcase image was the one I was trying to set, and it just didn't set it. Okay, and then we already decided it's a top level, so we're not changing anything of that nature. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'll go ahead and click Update. And now, if I reload this page, now it says Palm Beach County, and it does have an image, and I can click on Palm Beach County, and it gives me the option to still navigate to the other counties that I have, and then shows me what I pulled up there. So this is how we add the showcase pages. Now, remember, these are all built dynamically, so you'll see I only have county available because I only have counties built out when I'm in Palm Beach. I don't have any subcategories for Palm Beach, meaning I don't have any pages below that, any cities built. If I go to Broward County, however, where I do have a couple cities, notice it changes to Browse by City, because now I can drill down even further. And you see it has a Browse by City option. I can also go back to locations, which brings me back to my counties. Okay, so it's all, the navigation's all built in. You don't have to worry too much about any of that. Okay, now to show you one more point, and to kind of go through this one more time for you, we're going to go ahead and add a price point under Fort Lauderdale. So if I click on Fort Lauderdale right now, it just pulls up a widget for Fort Lauderdale properties. And it only has my cities that I already have there because I don't have anything underneath that. So let's go ahead and just do this one more time so that we can see how we go. So I'm going to add a new showcase. I'm going to add the title, and we're going to call this one Fort Lauderdale Homes for Sale under, let's say, 300K. All right. So I'm going to edit with Elementor. Go ahead and add this here. So I'm going to add, remember I'm searching my IDX widget. Pull that over. I'm going to select my widget, Fort Lauderdale Homes under 300K. Hit apply. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and hit publish. Okay, now instead of going to look at it, I'm going to go ahead and go back to my page here that I did, and I'm going to go ahead and select these different options. So the URL slug is Fort Lauderdale Homes for Sale under. Now that's a little long, right? So I might do Fort Lauderdale Homes under 300. Maybe I'll change that. Okay, so that's that URL slug. So I have the option to edit these things now that they're in here. So let's say, now what is this? Bedroom, city, county, neighborhood, price? Well, it's a price point. So if I select price, that's now going to create one of my showcase options that I'll be able to see there. So then showcase image. Now in this case, I don't actually have to set a showcase image unless I'm going to feature that showcase on the home page. So unless I'm going to have homes for sale in Fort Lauderdale under 300K on the home page, this particular showcase image won't necessarily show up on the website. Now, it would still show up if you're going to, say, use a like a social media post. It'll still grab it. So I do want to be consistent. So if this is the one I use for Fort Lauderdale, which I happen to know it's this one, then maybe I'll still set that each time anyway. So that way when I do a social post, I'm controlling what image shows up. You could actually do an independent individual graphic for every showcase page that you build. Maybe it says on here under 300K or something on the writing, so it's the same home but it has under 300K. You can do something like that if you want to spend the time to do so. Then I'm going to go here to showcase attributes. Now, parent showcase. So is Broward County the parent? Well, no, that's the grandparent in this case, right? In this case, I'm doing Fort Lauderdale, so I want the Fort Lauderdale to be the 300K, or to be the parent for the 300K. All right, so I have that option to do that there. Again, now the category link box text, I'm going to go ahead and actually just save all of these options. Let's see. Homes for sale under, yeah, it's not letting me publish it, so let's try this. We're going to do a preview. There we go, it says the page is published. Came up not found. And it's because I just changed this slug and it hasn't saved. So now I'm going to go ahead and click update. I was just missing that little piece that lets me update everything. So now that I've updated it, I'm going to go back to the BREW. I'm going to go back to locations. Click on Broward County. Now when I go to Fort Lauderdale, you'll see instead of Fort Lauderdale and Miramar that it had before, now it's got the subcategory because I have one by price. Now, if I also did one by, like I said, Fort Lauderdale homes for sale with a pool, right? That would be a feature. So there would be price, there would be features. So I have different options that I can build out here as well. But in this case, I'm going to do by price. Now, remember I told you, see, this is a little long. So if I had Fort Lauderdale homes for sale under 200K, Fort Lauderdale homes under 400K, might be a little long for it to continue to say that over and over again. So that's the other option that I was suggesting that we can do here in the category link box text. So we're going to say under 300K. We're going to leave it real simple. Go ahead and hit update. Go back here to Fort Lauderdale. And now it just says under 300K. I click on under 300K. And it shows me homes in Fort Lauderdale under 300K. All right, so that's it. I know it's a lot to digest, but I just want to show you how cool this is, really. I mean, it's a little complex in some ways, but it also, you just walk through the steps. If you just take those steps, go to IDX Broker, build your widgets, go to your BREW admin, add a showcase, and really the only pieces that matter is kind of where we're putting it. So again, just a final recap here, right? Click on Add Showcase. Tell your page what it is, what kind of showcase is it, bedroom, city, county, price, give it a little image, what is the parent showcase, okay, does it nest under something else, and add your widget in Elementor, click update, and that's it, you're good to go. So it's actually only a few steps. I had to explain a lot, obviously, going through it for the first time with you, but it's really only a few steps. Then you just rinse, lather, repeat, and you will see great success. So if you have any questions, please reach out to us, team@ballinbrands.com.